Good morning. At our last Sunday of church in the park, I was struck by Pastor Jane's sermon on grace. Her message gave me a new perspective on the journey that Justice for Our Neighbors Michigan and Central Church have taken together over the past decade. Though I hadn't used that term, grace is exactly what I was describing in conversations with JFON Michigan staff and supporters in recent weeks as we've reflected over where we are today and the pathway that we've taken to get here. It was 2011 when a task force was formed to discern the need and support for a legal clinic in Traverse City. By 2015, we were finally ready to open the doors for our first clients. In 2018, we hired Marcelo Betti as our first full-time staff attorney and increased Sue Narkowski's hours to half-time as a Department of Justice accredited representative. That year, I was also hired as the first part-time site manager, a position that was created with the help of Rotary Charities to help care for the administrative work that was needed to sustain our operations. We also formed a new statewide organization that year with 3 other regional JFON offices around Michigan, who provided us with a new level of collaboration and support and professionalism. Since 2015, all of these changes have allowed us to take on more complex and complicated cases that we didn't have the resources to care for early on. There have been many ups and downs in the past 10 years. At times I thought maybe we needed to put our dream on hold. Perhaps this wasn't the right time for us to start a JFON office. Maybe we just didn't have the right people with the right skills in place. I see now that it was God's grace that showed up through our church family and brought us to where we are today. It was God's grace in an unsolicited and totally unexpected $10,000 check that came in the mail from a member of our congregation. At that time, our annual budget was just over $30,000, so that money sustained us for a long time. It was God's grace and connections that you provided, connections in our legal community, connections to people who needed our services, and connections with new JFON supporters. It was God's grace and our growing and our learning together, in conversations with words like, I didn't understand how difficult it was for someone to immigrate to the United States. And in the humble realizations that we all have a lot more to learn. The bottom line is we wouldn't be able to offer the expert immigration legal services to our immigrant, refugee, and asylum-seeking neighbors in northern Michigan without Central Church. We have grown from a small-scale volunteer-led organization to a professional legal office. So once again, I come to you asking for your continued support. Please give generously to help us meet our year-end goal of raising $15,000, this community's piece of our year-end goal around the state. Thank you for your ongoing support. I look forward to continuing this important journey with all of you.